Welcome to Behind the Berry, sponsored by Modexis, where you'll get to know the brand behind these world-class, innovative supplements formulated by science with you in mind. You'll meet our people, the founders of Modexis and members of our Product Research Council. You'll also hear about our amazing products through stories from our customers of overcoming health challenges. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. Modexis is the leader in bringing you the world's first family of innovative natural nutrition, powered by the elite superfruit, Lonicera cerulean. Our products are non-GMO, gluten-free, and made right here in the USA with no preservatives. They're 100% natural, so you can feel good about taking them and sharing them with your family. And learn just how easy it is to become an affiliate with Modexis and gain financial prosperity just by sharing Modexis with the people you love. Now let's jump into this week's episode of Behind the Berry. Hey guys, it's Brittney Jones. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Berry, sponsored by Modexis. Today with me, I have Markus Loving. Hey Markus, how are you today?
Brittney, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I was
Awesome.
complimenting you on your background before we got started. I
Absolutely.
live in Florida. Where do you live? Tell our viewers.
I live outside Chicago, but the background is a reminder of where I want to be in the next 5 years, which is on a Caribbean island somewhere, living large. Working on my computer to be able to do what I want when I want. So
Yeah, that
yeah.
is the dream, is it not?
Well, it is. I've always, you always have to have goals and aspirations, but it's something that the oceans always speak to me. Like right now, I'm really jonesing to have my toes in the sand. So I'm hoping my girlfriend and I will be able to go do a trip here for our birthdays in the middle of summer
Nice.
soon. So that'll be kind of nice. But
Yeah.
in reality, it's all about putting things around you that inspire you, that love you, that it brings that love and joy and happiness out in your life. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. And come on down to Florida. It is 90 degrees here already, and you can dip your toes in that
Nice.
sand anytime for
Well, I've
sure.
been to Florida. I've been to Florida many times. What part of Florida are you in?
I'm in Orlando.
Orlando. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there
So
many times. My daughter used to do all-star cheerleading, and so we used to have lots of all-star conventions and
yeah.
what would you call them? Oh, gosh, the word slips my mind. But the national competitions and stuff
Yeah.
down actually on the Disney property. So
Yeah. Very
yeah.
cool. Well, it's
Yeah.
so funny because I think people hear Orlando, right? They automatically associate with Disney. I don't think I've been in a decade. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
we digress.
the way they're changing things, it's probably a good thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's a topic for another day.
a topic for another day. Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, let's get on topic and
That
we
sounds
can talk
good.
a little bit about how you came to Modexis. You do a little bit of behind the scenes work for Modexis, but also I'm assuming you use the products yourself. So let's
I
hear a little
do.
bit of your
Well,
story.
I mean, gosh, where do I start? I mean, Randy and I have been friends for a very long time, and we actually got introduced to each other in a company that we worked 20 years ago, where both of us were the youngest, top one of the youngest top producers in the company. And in fact, Randy reminded me that we were actually the only two men that was on the company's advisory council that the founder had set up years ago. So
Yeah.
that's how we met, and we actually stayed in friends and been in touch with things. And Randy would share things with me, and I'd share stuff with him, and we just became great friends. And I remember one of the last times I saw him, it was actually 5 years. He's like, "Hey, I'm passing through town, on flights. You want to get together for lunch?" I'm like, "Absolutely," And we got together, and then we obviously had some meals in between there. But yeah, Randy, I do online marketing, digital marketing, and so Randy, I was talking to Randy. I'm like, hey, just I was looking at your stuff, and here's a couple of recommendations I would make. And we started talking, and one thing led to another. So we've been doing some work on this, a couple of different product launches and news releases. And right now we're getting ready to do we've been actually helping him build up the LinkedIn presence, because LinkedIn is really an unused and really an underutilized tool that a lot of people, especially in the advocate world, affiliate world, network marketing world, they don't really utilize it because they think it's all corporate and all business, but really it's a networking tool. It's a platform to connect with people on a professional level. And so we're actually going to be doing a master class for advocates launching in the middle of May. So we've been slowly letting the word out a little bit here, a little bit there, but we're excited
Awesome.
about it. So, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm not on LinkedIn. I have actually never been on LinkedIn. So,
okay.
but if we can, we're gonna go to your favorite product. I'd love to hear about that, and then we'll jump to kind of the business side. And
Yeah.
don't give us your whole master class, right? We want people
Oh,
to,
no, no, no. Well, absolutely not. No, no. Well,
but
because obviously, yeah, no. As far as favorite product goes, the three products that I use on a regular basis are longevity, tranquility, and relief.
mm,
I do take a lot of supplements. I've been in the supplement industry probably for since my early 20s, and I had a life changing event last year where, knock on wood, the doctors saved my life. They had open heart surgery, all kinds of stuff, which wasn't expected. But knock on wood, with Dr. Rouse's help, was on the research council, taking these products as well as some other things that I'm taking as well for my heart and for healing. Knock on wood, for like the last since the middle of December, I've been off all my meds. So,
yeah,
and they thought I was going to be having to take blood thinners and beta blockers and all this kind of crap for years and years, and I'm like, yeah, I'm having none of that. So,
Marcus. Okay, you don't know this, but my dad is in my house right now
okay,
recovering from open heart surgery. He moved in with me just a few weeks ago. We've been taking care of him, and I
wonderful.
think you're about to give me some really good tips on how to.
I will definitely give you some good
Well.
advice and some things, but it really, for me, it wasn't. My heart was strong and there was no blockages. I had
Mm,
gotten a weird bacteria which they found from dental work that got into my valve and destroyed my valve. So they had to actually replace a valve,
wow.
among other things. I had some internal bleeding going on, and oh yeah,
Wow.
no, I'm, 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 I feel very fortunate that a fraternity brother found me
Mm,
when he did, because another 6 8 hours, it might have been a different story altogether.
wow.
But yeah, I was in the hospital for 4 weeks and 4 blood transfusions, and yeah, it was drug interactions and all kinds. It was, yeah, it was an interesting ordeal. But you know what though, everything happens for a reason, and I really believe that even though some people would say that's a horrific event, and yes, to trust me wrong, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. However, a lot of silver linings came from that. A lot of great things have come from that. And even just a whole perspective on life, like you see me, I'm wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt. I probably have 12 to 20 Hawaiian shirts that I wear. And once the weather breaks in Chicago, guess what? You probably won't see me in anything but a Hawaiian shirt, because I'm living my life. If people love me, hate me, whatever, it is what it is.
I
But
love it.
that is what I really think sometimes these kind of life moments can do for you. And the more I research the product, I've been talking with Alan Ogden. He's
Yep.
been phenomenal. Give a lot of interesting details. Like the longevity, the milk thistle. I was cleansing my liver. I had no idea it was doing that. I was just taking it because I knew it was a strong antioxidant and it would help me, build my immune system up and help with the healing. But I know that all those drugs, I don't take medicine. I mean, I have to be in excruciating pain to take any kind of like Advil or Tylenol or whatever. So
Yeah.
to be on all these drugs and everything that they had me on, I know that my liver took a big of a hit. And knowing that I've got this product that's helping me slowly over time detox it is amazing. So yeah,
Wow.
so I love the products. I know we got a few more on the horizon here that we
Yeah.
can't talk about, but will be unveiled soon. So I'm excited about those as well.
Cool.
And I just sent some to my daughter because she got COVID again for like the third time, and it's honestly at this point it's like a common cold to her.
Right.
So, but
Well,
it was one of those things. I'm like, hey, I got these products. Would you be open to try them? Because she's 20, she'll be 22 next month,
mhm.
graduating college. I'm very excited and proud of her. I'm like, she's like, yeah. So I shipped her off a bunch of the product, and I know she'll be taking those and
Good.
helping her immune system and strengthen her body. And all we can do with health, all we can do at the end of the day is put the odds in our favor. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no magic bullet. There's no one way of doing it. But if we can constantly put things in our favor, like taking the Modexis products,
Yeah.
eating healthy, eating organic, cutting out the GMOs, all that kind of stuff, drinking good, clean water, a ton of it, so you can flush your system, your body's going to take care of itself for the most part. Yeah, freak things happen. I've been in the hospital twice, and it's always been because of a freak thing. So I really think you can put the odds in your favor to the point where you can live an outstanding, healthy life, full of energy, full of abundance, full of all of that. If you'll just do a few simple things on a regular basis. I mean, Jim Rohn said it. If it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. Well,
Yeah.
do it because it's easy to do. It's like this business. Talking to people about these products. It's easy to do. But a lot of people are hesitant or they have preconceived notions, and it's like you got to get rid of the stuff in between your ears so that you can manifest some great things in between your hours. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
I do know what you're saying. I love it. Liz and I just talked about mindset. We didn't hit on it too hard, but it definitely came up. I would love to just hear your thoughts on how changing your mindset changes your, Modexus, we use the word prosperity. So let's just say that.
Well, mindset, it really is everything. My grandfather years ago told me, it's your attitude will determine your altitude. And he used to have all kinds of things. I mean, he used to correspond with Napoleon Hill and people, what's the gentleman from Earl Nightingale. I mean, he would actually write letters, and I mean, he was very much into it. I inherited an entire book collection of his, and it really helped, I think, put me on the path of wanting to better my life, and it starts with what you put in between your ears, and it's focusing on the positive versus the negative. Now, it's not to say that you're never going to have a downtime, you're never going to be negative, but if you can just be 51% positive, that's going to change that'll change the dynamic. That tips the scale.
Yeah,
None of us are perfect, but it's what you focus on predominantly. If
sure.
you focus on the glass half full, guess what? You're going to have some great things happening in life. If it's always half empty, well, guess what? You're going to be, I don't know if I can use words, but you're going to be shit out of luck,
Yeah.
because that's just what you're going to create. So I've read a lot of books. I do a lot of study. I really believe you have to work on yourself more than you do anything else, because then that's what's going to allow you the different pieces of the puzzle to fall into place for you. I really believe that the universe is conspiring for our favor, but we have to do our part, and our part is starting with our mindset, starting with things you listen to. I mean, I can't tell you how many hundreds of audiobooks I've got on my Audible, because I'm constantly listening to them. I put them on before I go to bed. I mean, I literally have a storybook reading me to sleep, and generally it's something about positivity or motivation or personal development, personal growth. I mean, and that's what it's really all about, because it beats the alternative. Who wants to be miserable all their life? I
Yeah.
see people and they just get angry about the stupidest shit. Excuse my French. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on this other
We
show.
might beep. We might need to beep some
One
of
of the
this.
people there, okay, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I actually feel sorry for them, because it's like, do you know there's a better way?
Yeah.
Thoughts become things. I mean,
Mm.
if you can walk away with one thing, thoughts become things. And if you can focus on what it is you want to accomplish. And I tell people, this is what I did for myself personally, because again, I've had highs and I've had lows. I think we all have it, to some degree or another. And I was at a point in my life where things were kind of low, and I'm like, you know what? Things have to change. And so I started doing some more intense reading, and started focusing on visualizing, just focusing on what do I want my life to look like.
Yes.
And I actually wrote out 10 areas of my life that I want to change.
Mm.
Everything from, like, intimate relationships to friendships to my business to how I want, residual income, all these types of things. And I kid you not, within, I want to say, probably about 14 months, like 9 out of 10 of those had become a reality. Where at the beginning, it was like, this was going to be a huge stretch. And it's not like I had to sit there and meditate under a rock for 3 hours a day, focusing on what I want to happen. No, 5, 10 minutes. Picture what you want your life to look like, and it will happen. Do certain things, but create a vision board. I'm a big believer in vision boards.
Yeah.
Create a surrounding. I mean, I can't tell you how many pictures I've got of palm trees and of the ocean, and I got plants that remind me of being palm trees and all these things, because that I want to surround myself with the things that where I want my life to go.
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm a very much big believer that mindset is everything.
Mm.
You get that If you get that right. A good friend of mine, he's actually a trainer, Doug Firebaugh, a good friend of mine from years ago. He says you live your life twice: first between your ears, then between your hours. And it is so true. So if we can get what's going on in between our ears correct, what's going to happen between our hours, you'll be amazed at the kind of miracles you'll be able to create.
Man, I am so glad we're talking today, Marcus. This is so good. I hope everybody else is enjoying this as much as I am.
I hope so
Maybe
too.
this is just for me today. Who knows? But yes, I actually created my first vision board in a very, very, very long time this year. And an element of that was my Modexus business because it is income generating for me and for my
Right.
family. And every little bit helps. Hello, we see what the world, money situation, inflation, and all that looks like right now. So every
Absolutely.
little bit helps. And so man, it's so good. Also writing down goals, right? Just like write it down. So many people I think are like, they don't necessarily see the difference between just having it in their head and physically writing it down and having it
Right.
to sort of look at and check off, if you will. But I love that. That's really good advice
I
too.
mean, if you think about it, if most people's lives would change if they just earned an extra $300 to $500 a month in income. I mean, think about what how that would change, and it's like that is so doable. In Modex, it's unbelievable,
Mhm.
especially with the how they've got this compensation plan. And still learning different nuances about it. How it really rewards the people that are willing to that get started right away. That are willing to go out there and just put a little effort into it.
So I put like I cut out some pictures of some of the different bottles and I have like an actual little graph with like a numeric goal there.
Right.
I've never ever done that before. I've never set financial goals for myself personally. So I don't know. I know this wasn't I wasn't planning on asking you this, but you got any tips there for me?
Well, absolutely. First of all, I want to tell people is that don't focus necessarily on the goal per se. And the reason I say that is a lot of people have a negativity towards goals. So what I
Yes.
like to say is make it your intention. What is
Mm,
your intention? And the way I look at it is you want that to be as broad spectrum as possible. And the reason why I say that is you have to allow room for and I know people are from all walks of life watching this, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it the universe, whatever it is, to put those things into motion for you. But you have to give it room. So you have to be kind of broad stroked on it. So focus on abundance. Focus on what that abundance looks like for you. And guess what? Those numbers, those milestones, you look at it more as milestones versus
yeah.
as goals, and you'd be amazed how quickly you're going to reach those milestones. And
Hmm.
because words are powerful, and so I would think, picturing it and just looking at it. Picture your ideal day. Like when you get up in the morning, what does it look like? What's your morning routine? What are the things you're going to do? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to say hello to? Who are you going to smile at? You're going to make a difference in their life? What kind of positive energy are you putting out into the world?
Yeah.
And then how does the day look like? Maybe it's so many days, so many hours you're making phone calls, connecting with friends, and chit chatting. And if it comes up, it's like, hey, by the way, I've been taking this stuff, and you share your story, share an idea with them, plant the seed, and you'd be amazed at what can happen for you. But focus on what you want that ideal, like the ideal day. If you have an ideal day, what would it look like? And and then just picture it. Spend 5 minutes, just close your eyes and see it as like a movie camera in your mind, and you'll be amazed how quickly those things will start to fall into place.
Yes. So good. So we're going to switch gears here a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn
Mhm.
or just social media, the importance of kind of showing up and being present in the online space as well.
Well, you definitely have to have a presence online. There's no question about it, because
Mhm.
people are going to check you out. I always tell people, even business owners who I consult with, the first thing you do if someone recommends you is they're going to go look up online. What are you going to find? Are they going to find just does it look like the store's closed and the windows are all dusty, or does it look like fresh and there's so many new and exciting things to look at? So, and that can look in a lot of ways. LinkedIn, the reason we're focusing on LinkedIn so much more than any of the other social media platforms, and there's a lot of them out there, and different generations, I think, gravitate towards different platforms.
For sure.
But LinkedIn is proven itself to be, I mean, a professional setting where you can attract and build an audience, a tribe, a community of people that have the ability to take advantage of the things we have in Modexis. So, like when Randy and I started doing, we started focusing on just the product, because you know what? Not everybody wants is looking for a business opportunity. However, everybody can use these products.
Yes.
what busy executive can't use Lyft and Tranquility every single day because they're redlining it and they're going a mile a minute,
Right.
24/7 practically.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
the longevity, so they stay well, so they're not getting sick, and all those kinds of things. So that's how we started it. But then the more we were doing it and focusing on it and adding things and discovering a lot of the new things, because LinkedIn is always adding new things and new ways to reach a community, to be creative, to utilize their tools. That why don't we start focusing on helping advocates build their professional presence on LinkedIn? Let's help them do it correctly, so that way, they can stand above the crowd than everyone else. You know, and it's everything from your profile picture to your headline or your tagline to what it is you're saying. Most people think, oh, it's just a resume. No, it's not a resume. Yeah, once somebody is interested in you and checks you out, they might dig in and see where you're from, and oh, hey, I went to that high school, I went to that college, and you start building connections. Or I used to work at a company similar to that, or that sort of thing. But what is it that what are the areas that are going to help them want to see you and connect with you? Because again, we're living in a soundbite world these days. So you've got a small window, milliseconds, microseconds to catch someone's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put the best foot forward. And how do you do that? And how do you leverage it? How do you build a network? Because let's face it, whether you're in a big company or an affiliate based kind of company or a network marketing company, you have to build a network. There's everything's a network.
Yes.
Every company. People say, it's so funny. People say, "Oh, is that one of those pyramid things?"
They hate it.
Like, I laugh at that. I'm like, well, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
What company do you work for? I work at ABC. You work at UPS. I said, okay. Is there a CEO of UPS? They say, yeah. I said, does that CEO make more money than anyone else in that company below them? They're VPs, they're directors, they're managers, they're all down the line. Oh yeah, they do. I said, oh, okay. And are there VPs that people they have to report to and they have to like look over and kind of thing? So what you're telling me is you're working in a pyramid, but you're at the bottom
Yeah.
versus being in an organization where you could be at the top of your own.
Yes.
And when people can understand that, not
Mhm.
saying it's for everybody, and everyone's got to kind of find their own path, but if they can understand that and realize that it's a business model just like every other business model that's out there. A lot of the great companies out there, I mean, Modexis, the products that they're doing and the quality and the just the science behind it and the do
Yep.
no harm and everything that goes into it with the research council, Dr. Rouse and Dr. Dina Hackett and Alan, and it's really amazing what they're putting together,
Yeah.
and it's going to go a long way. So to leverage that and utilize that as a tool on LinkedIn and be able to build that kind of a community, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Just makes sense, because Facebook, everyone's on Facebook, and there's so much drama on Facebook. Or you go on LinkedIn, man, you're gonna be amazed at all the positive stuff that's gonna be coming your way. From quotes and motivational things and ideas and and you can build community in there, and
Hmm.
you can get it going right away. So that's really why we're focusing on it, because it really is a tool and it works very differently. People don't realize that. Oh, they say, oh, it's just Facebook for business. Well, yeah, sort of, but it
Yeah.
has so many other nuances to it that makes it so different than every other social media platform, which is some of the things we're going to be going over on the masterclass.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
cannot wait.
Yeah,
And as you're talking, I'm realizing that most of what we'll learn there will be you be able to replicate that on Instagram with like the picture or the tagline or the way that
yeah,
you're wording things. So, if people
absolutely.
aren't, if people have a following in other places, this is just going to enhance like what they already have.
Absolutely, absolutely, without a doubt, as well as enhance the way they interact in the real world, in the offline
Mhm.
world. Because at the end of the day, we're all people, and we all connect as people. So whether you're in the offline world, the online world, a lot of it falls into the same category, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and we got some cool stuff. I've been talking with Alan. Alan's very excited to start using LinkedIn as well. And so we're actually going to be doing some calls together and sharing some more tips and strategies and just things that maybe I hadn't thought about. Like, wow, that's a great way of looking at this. That's a great way of approaching people in this world. So you can actually go after some of the people that are more talented. I want people that are better than me. Why was Mr. Ford so successful? He's like, I don't know much about anything. I just know how to put people around me that are smarter than me, and then get things done better than me. And he built a thriving empire that's going till this day.
Yeah.
So,
I
you
love
know,
that. Work
yeah,
smarter, not harder, right? You've got
exactly.
someone else on your team that's as passionate or more passionate or more skilled than you. I mean, that's not a detriment by any means. So,
It's an asset. It's
yeah,
an absolute asset, without a doubt.
that's awesome. Well, I'm
Yeah.
very excited. And what day are we doing this? Because,
Well, we're actually announcing it. We're going to start the announcements next week,
okay.
and we're going to start it middle of May. Right now, it's looking like don't lock me in because we're still finalizing all the details. But I think we're going to do it on Saturday mornings, so that way it doesn't interfere with most people's work schedule. And there'll be 4 master classes, so it'll be 4 weeks in a row. There'll be incentives for attending all four of the events, and each class is going to build upon the next one because there'll be some homework and things, activities and things that people want to do in between, so that way they can get the most out of the experience.
This sounds awesome and sort of interactive and community. Like people will be, like you said,
Yep,
homework. I know homework is a dirty word to some of us, but it sounds like we'll be learning a lot, and that's
absolutely.
worth it. So, wow, I'm really excited. I'm so
Yeah,
glad
me too.
Randy was like, talk to Marcus on Behind the Berry. Y'all need to get together. So,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I've seen your videos on the Modexus link, YouTube page. So yeah, no, this has been great. I'm very honored that you wanted me to chat with me. So I'm glad. This is awesome.
yeah, yeah, awesome. Okay, so we've got probably one last thing before we go. I know you
Okay.
said you use longevity, you said
Hmm.
relieve and tranquility every day. As I'm
Yep.
talking with you, the other thing that was going in my mind is this man does not need lift. No, you're just very high energy.
Well, you know
You
what? I
probably
am.
could still use it, right?
Well, honestly, right now I can't because
Oh,
with the way my heart is.
okay.
I've been using natural forms of caffeine for a long time,
Mm,
and I think I probably overdid it a little bit. So right now, because my heart's still healing, and there's some AFib stuff and whatever we're working out. So I find the caffeine just revs me up too much. So
yeah.
unfortunately, as much as I love to take lift, and I've tried it a few times, and I may try taking one here and there kind of thing just to see how it goes. But I guarantee you, once I'm at a point where I can start using it, lift is going to be the first thing I'm going to add to it for without a doubt because I
That's
love it.
That's so funny. No,
Yeah.
I love the energy you've brought to the show today
Well,
so much.
thanks.
And I'm really looking forward to sitting in on this masterclass and learning more about LinkedIn, and how we can all, as advocates, just utilize all the tools in our tool basket, and really, prosper as we're sharing Modexus with the people in our lives and the people that we love. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm glad you're going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, well, thanks so much for coming on today, Marcus. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hey guys, it's Brittney. Make sure to go visit modexus.com. That's MODEXUS.com to connect with an advocate for Modexus in your area. I'd also love it if you would like and subscribe to this channel as well as the Modexus channel. And be sure to hit the little notification bell so you know every time we post something new.